that's what you do is $100, $50, whatever it was. I think some of the big headliners got $150. Those are the big cats on a Tuesday night in Ambler.
Well, let's go back to the beginning there in Pennsylvania. Did you know when you were young that you were going to be in the entertainment business, going to make people laugh or act or do any of that?
Considering my math test scores, I didn't have a lot of chance at anything else. I don't have a skill set for math and sciences and things like that,
Right,
but I
right.
do have a skill set that's about personality,
Yep.
knowing people. I've always had an intuition about people. I just wrote about this, about to post it in a few minutes. Comedy Magic Club. When I first arrived in LA, the LA area from Philadelphia, in my 20s, just starting in comedy pretty much. I was already headlining, but not known on the West Coast at all and not known nationally, certainly. And I sat in the audience one night at the Comedy Magic Club, which I had heard about, but it's like a temple for comedy. I mean,
Yeah.
it is just amazing. And it's been around for a long time. Leno's been working there every Sunday for 40 years.
Arsenio, Christy McHugh. I have a lot of people still out there doing it every Sunday.
Yeah, yeah. So anyway, I was in the audience, and here's who was on stage: David Spade, who says, "I'm David Spade. I'm 10. My mom dropped me off. She's at Ralph's shopping right now. She'll be right back after my set." And I remember going, "My God!" I nicknamed him the Quiet Storm, and I still call him that, QS. And he was just brand new in the business. And then the next act was Dana Carvey, who was working out this thing called the Church Lady. He was killing it with "Isn't That Special?" And the headliner was Dennis Miller, who was the Weekend Update, Saturday Night Live. And that was the show. And I went, oh, man, this is amazing. I was just like blown away. And I said, if I could be on that stage, I'd be making it. And literally, George Wallace introduced me not long after that. And I killed it. And I've been there ever since 1989. I've been headlining every single year.
And I apologize, I jumped ahead a little bit, but in '79 is when you started doing comedy, and you went out to LA with Richard Jeni and John Mulroney. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, all three of us. You probably heard the story about Chris Rock.
Yeah, you do a great Chris Rock impression. You mind doing that?
I didn't even think he knew who I was, and it was backstage, actually, Comedy Magic Club. I didn't think he knew who I was really, and I said, "Hey, I'm Craig Shoemaker." "I know you." And I said, "Oh, my buddy Rich Jeni. I moved out here. Who was writing in the back room with all these writers for the Oscars. They were prepping 20 years ago when Chris was hosting the Oscars." And I told him, I said, "I moved out here with him and John Mulroney." And I'll never forget. I didn't even think he knew me. He goes, "You, Jenny Mulroney?" He was like blown away because we were like gunslingers when we came out there because we had the chops from working bars, and they did not do that in L.A. And so we really did rise fast. Mulroney got his own show on Fox like instantly, and Jenny had his own sitcom, and so we all did really well because we came out. We had the balls that it takes to come from the East Coast. But he gave me that, he just was like, "You guys are killers." And then I said, "Yeah, we all moved out together." And God, I just can't believe it. I'm saying this, but both of them are passed away now. Mulroney just passed away
now.
Also. And then Jenny quite a few years ago. But I don't know. I don't even know if people realize that Jenny was one of the great comics of all time. Didn't start off that way. I booked him at the Ambler Cabaret. Mulroney brought him down from New York. I was booking this thing outside Philadelphia, Ambler Cabaret, and he goes, "This guy's going to kill it." And he walks up and he taped dollar bills all over his body. He walks on stage, Jenny, and he goes, "I'm made of money." And that was it. It was like pretty much bombed after that. I said, "Mulroney, this guy's going to be good." And then sure enough, he surpassed both of us. And he was one of the best comics ever. Nobody could take a joke and empty it out like he could. There was no reserve tank. He took everything bit of gas out of every single piece of material. And he was amazing. So, and we used to hang out. We've had some funny stories together from back east and back actually close to you in the Poconos.
Yeah.
My dad had a cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
It's called Pocono Adventures on Mules. It was me, Jenny, and this guy Glenn Farrington, still a friend. He's a comic and magician. We were doing a tour of the Poconos of these colleges, Wilkes and Scranton. And,
Yep, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton. Yep.
that was the name of the colleges. It was,
No, I know it. I know it.
Wilkes College. And so anyway, we walk in and there was the harem. He had a harem of women. He had his own cult. And I said, we walked in really late after the gigs, and he let us stay there. And he called himself the king of the Poconos. He was already asleep, and he picks which one sleeps with that night. So the rolled up sleeping bag. So there's sleeping bags waiting for us with goats and stuff. And we're sneaking in late at night. I'll never forget. Jenny turns to me. I said, "Shh, you're gonna wake my father up." He goes, "Shoo, fuck your old man," and the mule he rode in on. We went for mule rides and
you do a lot of impressions. I saw in the interview with Jay, or the podcast with Jay Moore.
Yeah,
you do Morgan Freeman. My God, that was spot on.
Oh yeah, it's Morgan Freeman. It's it's good he's still alive, because Jay Moore was making fun of me. He says, "Do you do any live people?"
Yeah, so right. No,
I pulled out the guy who's pretty old himself, but yeah, I do. I have a lower register now, so a lot of the ones I used to do are higher register. You know, the Don Knotts of the world, but now it's like Liam Neeson. He's one of my impressions. I have a very special set of skills I've acquired over a long career, skills that help me deal with people like Scott.
Let's move on to acting. You think I don't have my shit together? You've been in over 200 shows, Matlock. Been in movies, Scream 2. My question is, do you enjoy acting as much as stand-up?
That's a good question.
Wow.
Believe it or not, I've been producing, and I produce things.
No, we'll get to that. Yeah, keep going.
I like producing the most, because I'm putting people together in a collaborative effort, because stand-up is alone, you're solo. I was just talking to somebody about it today. I wouldn't mind dating a comic, like Rich Voss married a comic, Bonnie McFarlane.
Yeah. You
can create together, tour together, be intimate and all that.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind that, but everybody says, "You're out of your mind. You don't date a comic." But the reason is, that's the one thing about stand-up. It is so solo. And then it's even more solo when people attack. I had a guy attack, it was a 30-second clip, and he took like one portion, and he goes, "Is that your act?" No, it's not my act. I do hours on stage, you idiot. You know what I mean? Like, this guy takes the time to try to take me down. And that's our society now. And I just don't want to, it's just, I'm not connected to that. And then if you produce or even acting, you don't really get that. Nobody's reviewing a character actor. I'm doing, small bits and parts and stuff. Nobody say, "Oh, Parks and Recreation, the way you wore that uniform, you were so off." I mean, they just don't really care to do stuff like that. But a comic, we're subjected to this every single day, and the canceling, and they want to project something onto you, like a ist or a phobe or whatever it is. So that part of it I do not like. Do I love the connection with an audience? If it was just that, no promotion, the audience shows up, let's have a great time, man, there's nothing better than stand-up. It's all that comes with it, though. That's not a pleasure.
Well, it's like your website, you have a merchandise, and it says Unwoke AF.
Yeah.
And I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, what bothers me about them is they're choosing our causes. Yeah. What if my cause is, for instance, Native Americans? I think they've had it worse than anyone. They've had it worse than someone that doesn't know if they're a boy or a girl. They've certainly had it much worse than that. Really? The Native Americans who were annihilated, I think that they would love to have that issue. I'm not sure if I'm a boy or a girl, if I should have hormone blockers or not. No, they're worried about blocking people that are there to kill them and put smallpox in their blankets. So, but you won't see hashtag Trail of Tears, because it's not trending. It's not trending. It trends, these things trend, and then they act like you have a problem if you don't go along with that. I know I saw this basketball player. She would not wear a ribbon. She's agreed. I agree with her. You're not going to tell me what my cause is. Right. And that's the problem, is people trying to insert their stuff onto you, which I'm sure none of them are listening to your show anyway. So I can say anything I want here.
All right, for the people that are, you have a master class called Command the Room.
Yeah.
And Go ahead, tell people about that, and I want to talk about the post from yesterday that you put up.
Yeah, it's Command the Room is all about helping people command the room through laughter. I call it the seventh sense, your sense of humor.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else has ever coined that term, but really, if we develop our sense of, you got your five senses, you got your sixth sense. There's a movie about it. I see dead people. What about your sense of humor? Why does everybody ignore that one? So let's develop that sense of humor. Makes you more dynamic, more magnetic,
Yeah.
more free once you know how to make people laugh. So I coach people with their speeches. I did 3 TED Talks last year that I coached, and I helped them really find their sense of humor, find their voice. We all have it, by the way. There's an innate sense of humor in everybody. But what happens is society takes over, and they make sure that, no, you get in line. We're going to tell you how you're supposed to be happy. There's even something called happy hour that they put into us. There's nothing happy about it. You ever been to a happy hour? First of all, alcohol is a depressant. And second of all, it's people talking about how much they hate their job. They just got off of work. Like, who's happy? There's nobody happy. There's nobody laughing. So it's all these illusions, wine tastings, and things like that that just take us away from really the laughs. So I'm not trying.
No, you're doing it.
Laugh
You're doing
baths,
it.
laugh baths, and
You're the founder of Laughter Works,
yeah.
Laugh Baths. You posted yesterday on Facebook something, and I wrote, "I love your positivity."
Thank you. Yeah.
And that's all. And I wrote back. Do you remember what I wrote back?
Now what?
I'm 63. I'm a year older than you, I think. Something like that. And I wrote, "I'm just trying to bring joy to people's lives at this point."
Oh yeah. That's
That's it. I'm just trying to make people laugh. I don't want to hurt anybody. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to talk about Trump. I'm not trying to talk about Biden. I'm not trying to. I'm just trying to make people laugh.
Yeah, that's.
I really admire that about you.
Yeah, I had to step aside from that. I used to be.
I can't do that. I won't do that.
Lefty at one time, and it was just about attacking Trump and stuff like that. And by stepping aside, it's not like I'm agreeing with him or endorsing him. It's not what it is. People think you have to do one or the other. No, there's a whole other option. The option
you're exactly right.
We're powerless over these things.
I don't.
And what cracks me up is like people really think. I have a friend, Peter, right? And I literally begged him. I said, "You need to stop this. It's boring, by the way. All they're doing is regurgitating a meme. It says he's a rapist. How many times did they do it? Is anything going to change? Do you think he's walking around going, you know what? Peter Pomeranz in Hawaii thinks that I am a dirtbag who cheated on his wife." And I said, "Do you really think that you're serving a good purpose?" I said, "You know what you're doing? You're hurting yourself." I said this to him often. I talked to a friend of his to do an intervention because she agreed with me. He was so toxic. Everything, he thought he was making a stand. I'm making a stand. That's what they tell themselves. Or even the protests that they go to. That's all about ego. They're just saying, "Hey, look at your sign with a finger. Oh, look at you. You're burning him in effigy. Oh, ha, ha, ha." There's no laughter, by the way. It ain't laughter. No. That's not laughter. Laughter, you can set an example for people and have the joy, and people want what you have. I don't want what they have, so I left that tribe, and I have my own tribe. It's about, like you said, the only goal is to bring joy. So I said this to Peter. I said, "You're going to make yourself sick." I am not kidding you, Scott. He got cancer and went fast.
Wow.
All the way to the end, he was posting about Donald Trump.
Oh my God.
Donald Trump's alive and well. I don't know how well he is, but Peter's not. Peter's not.
I don't mean to laugh at your buddy Peter dying. I'm
laughing at. I'd say how stupid this was. This concept that you really do believe, and they do. If they're listening to this podcast now, and they're one of those people, the justified resentment, the anger, the blame. I have my other thing that I sell my T-shirt is "Stop Global Whining."
Yeah.
I can only do so much with global warming. I can put my compost in the right area. I can put my trash cans out the right way, right? That's all I got. I drive an electric car. It's the tiniest little, you talk about the universe and the earth, who cares? But you know what I can do is I can shift the energy, talk about energy, by being positive and offering love, light, and laughter. That's what I really have power over. And that's contagious, and that can spread. So I want to stop global whining.
No,
to me, that's my campaign,
brother. You're preaching the converted. I couldn't agree more. And Let me touch on one other thing because again, on your website, you have a book called Laffirmations.
Yeah.
When did you
It's a
do that? When
it's a
did you do
40
that?
last year. It's a 40-day cleanse.
A 40
Actually,
day cleanse. Well,
it's
when I learned to read, I swear to you, Craig,
this
when
is
they
easy.
teach me to
It's easy,
read.
Scott. It's got cartoons. But
Okay.
anyway, this Jordan Bigler, he worked for me, and he's the one. He put the cartoons together through AI, and the cartoons they're like jokes. It's easy for you to read stuff like a guy wrote to me, goes or said to me, he goes, "Hey Craig, I caught my son watching S&M porn. What should I do?" I said, "Well, definitely don't spank him."
Yeah, right. I love it.
So there's like 39 more of those. I gave you one as a free gift, but you get
As
the
a free gift, a
Laffirmation.
free gift.
A
There it is.
Laffirmation is a 40-day cleanse. We need to cleanse ourselves of this toxicity that's out there. But
Absolutely.
I'm very alone on this mission. I'll
No,
tell
you're
you that.
not. No, you're
I'm,
not.
I have a laugh mob now. Did you join the laugh mob?
I will.
It's on
Right after this
Facebook.
is
It's
over.
called the Laugh Mob. And
Okay.
all you do is just post. And I encourage you post funny stuff, cat videos,
That's
simple stuff.
that's
Just to make people laugh. You know what my new one is, Scott? That makes me laugh like out loud,
Go
like
ahead.
no LOL, which drives me nuts.
No, I get it. I get
Sad
it.
face.
I get it.
I laugh at these porch pirates. They grab the box and they take it to their car and it explodes with paint.
Oh yes, I've seen those.
Oh, I laugh so hard. And my kids diminish my laugh by going, "It's AI, Dad." I go, "It is not. Don't tell me it's AI. Tell me these." And they get so mad. I've seen them call the police on the person who put the paint in the box, and the cops are going, "What were you doing taking the box?" "I was just seeing if it was mine." On someone else's porch? This is how
Right.
people justify their crap.
My God.
And so I laugh at that. So I post those. I post, really silly
Oh,
stuff, and just to take your day and just make your day a
yeah,
little
yeah,
better. You know what I mean? It's not going to be any better if you post from your political perspective.
yeah.
I can't stand campaigning. It's all negative. It's just what the other person is not doing or how bad they are, not how good you are. I'm going to campaign. I'm going to run for something and just be the positive guy. Is York 717? Is it
Yes,
still?
it is. Yes,
Okay,
it
that's
is.
what I wanted to know. I remember dialing the 717 because my dad
Okay.
with the mules. I visited my dad with the
I
mules.
know.
He took me to Lidditz, Pennsylvania,
Lidditz.
for the Amish, and he would try to have me deal with the Amish during these horse auctions, horse and mule auctions, and he would have me deal with them like to prove my worth to my father. I'd have to buy tack or trade for the tack for the saddles and things, the bridles, all that kind of stuff. So every time these Amish people, they have a load of money, Well, they save on electricity alone, right? So, or gas, electricity, that alone, they're wealthy. Every time that I'd said to negotiate to prove to my father that I could get the most for this saddle, and he goes, "Oh, I can't afford that there. Oh, that's highway robbery." with a little coal miner accent. "Oh, highway robbery." By the way, that is one section of the world that is amazing to me. The Amish.
Teresa De Gaetano, who's been on this show.
What's that?
Teresa De Gaetano, she's in New York. She's a comedian.
Yeah.
Her family owns the cattle thing in Lidditz or somewhere over where you're talking about.
Lidditz, yeah, the big cattle area.
Wherever.
So, but I went to something there, right? I saw this speech by Robert Kennedy actually during the pandemic. And first of all, he said, "They're coming for you next." And this is where I went, wait a minute, logically, during the pandemic, these are people that had no vaccinations, none of them, and zero COVID.
The Amish.
I'm doing them. I told you I'm no good at math. I'm doing the math going, well, they're doing something right here. And then I started getting the food and I was in line with the food. I'm putting potatoes on my plate and all their shoe-fide pie and all that stuff. And I get to there and I go, "How much do I owe you?" They go, "No, the whole thing for this field of people was all free because they believe in community."
Sure.
So I'm going, these people, I might be one if it wasn't for the bonnet. I don't think I can.
The electricity thing's pretty
Even
good.
that I'm all right with. The bonnet, ugh.
All right.
If my lady wears a bonnet to bed, I'm done. Okay, sorry. So yeah, and
This
they're a
is
little
not
pale.
fake laughter, by the way. I know
They
Rich
might be.
Schneider
They might.
ruined you on broadcast because of laughter. Fake
Where'd you
laughter.
see that? It's true. How'd you know
This is
that?
not fake laughter. You're making me laugh, and I
How
enjoy
did you?
it.
How did you? Where did I say that?
Because
And that's all I see now is the fake people, like the Kevin Hart roast. Oh, you're killing me! No, they're not
yeah,
laughing.
Comics Unleashed. Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh wait, did I say that? Did I say that
Well,
out loud?
I've been on Comics Unleashed
I
a
know. I
couple times,
know.
and I genuinely, because I'm very generous, I will take in each comic and genuinely
And
listen.
fake laugh. And fake laugh.
No, I let out the laugh. Now, maybe a couple fake laughs, but it starts with something that I do find funny. I can't laugh if it's not funny.
Yeah.
But I can kind of put it on steroids a little bit to support them and help them and make the energy happen in the room. We're all there for each other.
Francis DiLorenzo has been on a couple times, and
Yeah.
Francis is what got me in touch with Jeff Capri, who got me in touch with, and yeah, I just, from whether it's the old ones or the new ones, he spoon feeds the comic, and the other three comics have to sit there and go. That's my take.
It certainly beats everything else.
Oh
that's
yeah,
out there, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, how about late night television? They got Trump derangement syndrome, and it's boring. Look, I agree with so many of these things about he's done this, he's done that, whatever. But you don't do it every single night, and it turns into the same joke, and it's just boring. They act like they took Stephen Colbert down because he started to get in bed with the big pharma. He's in bed with big pharma.
Yeah.
No, there's other reasons than the ones you're speculating that make you a victim. No, he actually brought that forth. They all have bad ratings.
Yeah.
So I'm happy that Comics Unleashed is there, even though, you can say, it's corny in the way it's, it's kind of like,
I couldn't agree more.
It's set up, but at least you're giving comics a chance. And all the late night shows hardly use comics like Johnny Carson used to do. He used to discover
Johnny and the original Letterman and Leno and
No. Carson was the one. No, those guys they gave some chances. Nowhere near, especially Leno. Nowhere near the amount that Carson did. He would give the okay, and that made someone's career. Literally, made their career.
Yeah,
and it was amazing. I used to have the guy. He was on so many times, and he would be a headliner because of that credit. But he didn't have they're 4 minutes, but he didn't have the chops to be a headliner. So he would make me headline the shows. I'm going, you're getting the big bucks. You're the big, and would bring him in for the big bucks because he was on the Tonight Show that many times. He'd go, you close. So I would MC and close the shows because I was stronger because I had an act that works in nightclubs. His works on television for 4 minutes and appeals to Johnny Carson. But Johnny gave so many breaks. He discovered people.
Yeah.
You can't tell me this. Tell me a comic that was discovered on Jay Leno's Tonight Show.
No, you're right.
You can't name one. But Johnny Carson, I can name you 10 off the top of my head. Roseanne Barr, Stephen Wright, Rodney Dangerfield, all these people.
I met Rodney, and George Wallace talks about why he was never invited over to the couch. Believe it or not.
Who was not invited to the couch?
George Wallace.
George was not invited to the couch.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant Rodney. I remember him being.
No, I met Rodney. I met Rodney in California.
Yeah.
Let's do a couple quick ones, and we're going to get going here. Favorite food?
Cashews. My mom still puts them in my stocking.
Wait. This is last meal kind of stuff, okay? This is
their cashews would be involved.
Lobster, steak, something. My friend.
The cashews give me gas, and then I could fart on the people about to execute me. So it's a kind of like a full circle thing.
Endless shrimp.
I do love lobster, but it's steak and I'm a big steak guy, and I found my meat guy over near me over here in California. This dude is like, he's a butcher, an old-fashioned butcher, and he's got Australian and Japanese only, no hormones. And man, this stuff, I tell you, this is like
York, Pennsylvania, where the cow fell that day and they bring him in.
Yeah, but those got hormones. This guy's Australian and Japanese only.
Oh, Jesus, there, eat it.
You haven't even tasted meat till you've had. I treat him like.
Listen there, meat it.
He's like my cartel. I hit this guy up like
favorite food, not other than cashews.
Steak. Yeah,
steak.
I love a good steak.
Favorite TV show? I'll let you do a couple.
Of all time,
Whatever, All in the Family.
all in the
Whatever you want.
family, all in the
Oh,
family.
Jesus, listen there, meathead, stifle.
Oh, jeez, that's it. It was really brilliant, and it really brought us together
Yeah.
in a different way that I wished was going on now. There's this old saying that everybody goes, "Couldn't happen now." Well, that's one of those shows. It couldn't happen now, but it was so brilliant. I mean, Seinfeld. I've always been a Seinfeld fan. I'm really good friends with Patrick Warburton, who played Putty.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I love him.
We're good buds. My God, he hits the golf ball too far. I gotta calm down his steroids or something.
Favorite
But
movie?
what's that?
Do
Field
one
of
more
Dreams.
TV show. Favorite
Field-
movie is the last one.
Field of Dreams, because I didn't have a dad, so when he says, "Dad, you want to have a catch?" My son one time a long time ago, he queued it up on Father's Day to that one scene. He goes, "I got a surprise for you." He touches it was a DVD, touches it, play, and I'm there. "Oh, turn it off, stop it!" And he's looking back at me, I'm crying like crazy because I never had a catch with my dad. So yeah, that's definitely up there. I'm a big Wizard of Oz freak.
Yeah, me too.
I just saw the dome. You know what though? They cut it. I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, but they cut
What's
the.
that? They out in there. They have it on the thing, the sphere. Did you see
That's
that?
what I'm saying, in the sphere, and it's beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
But they cut too
yeah,
much, and there's too much AI. They cut my favorite song. How do you do that? How do you cut the favorite song of the whole movie and say this is the Wizard of Oz? Do you know what the song is? What's your favorite song?
This isn't about me, my friend. I don't have to answer that.
Here we go. If I were king of the forest. Cut it out. I know the movie so well. I go, they just jump scenes. Maybe they'll come back to it. No. They did not come back to it. It was very upsetting. But anyway, other than that, the Wizard of Oz is just such
I think that was your comedy minute. I don't need to say anything else. I'm telling you. I think Craig Shoemaker, that was it.
Okay.
That was it. You just doing the lion. My God, that was amazing. I'm serious, brother. Again, people don't know we're, similar in age. We even though we never met one another, we've only known each other, 37 minutes. It's amazing. No, I'm serious. It's amazing that I can totally relate to everything you talk about.
Yeah, I know. Well, we come from, it's a generation. It's a different generation. My daughter this morning, I have a 12-year-old, and she,
yeah,
her water bottle that she takes to school, it spilled in her backpack. And I started laughing to myself because we had a water fountain that was shared with of course, Louis Lips would suck that stuff out of there. It had bad pressure. If it had a lot of pressure, it would go up people's noses. It was a whole thing. You put bubble gum in it, it makes it squirt higher. And or somebody would be doing it, and you would take the knob and turn it so it would hit them in the face. All that stuff. You would line up. There was no germs back then. You would line up. That was your water. There was no water bottle. And the most thing we had a problem was a smushed peanut butter sandwich. That was no good. And now they don't even have that in her school because people are allergic to the peanuts. So this is a generational thing. And it's very difficult to kind of accept where they're going in this generation. And my babysitter I didn't have a babysitter. I just went out. My babysitter was the light that went on. It said the street light went on. Okay, your day's done. Okay, go home. That was it.
I think we should get together again. What do you think?
All right, sure, Scott.